Hi, my name is David Kierner. You might remember me from the back of the classroom, right? Okay, so I'm supposed to talk to you about a social issue, and I will, but first I have to apologize because I'm not going to be talking about anything too extraordinarily new or original. In fact, it's something you've been hearing about and you've come to accept most likely your entire lives. And it's the idea that identity is not simple, it's not black and white, it is complex, right? Now, the idea that identity is complex is something as Californians I think we are privileged to almost understand intuitively. Everywhere we look, things are multicultural, things are a blend, things are not black and white. So the idea that identity complex is again something that comes naturally to us, and maybe not something that comes so easy if you live in like the Bible Belt uh, or a place that's isolated and kind of has a one kind of culture going on, right? All right. So first up, Adichie, this author right here. What you have to know about Adichie is she grew up in Nigeria. Her stories have been translated into 30 languages, and she has spoken at a TED conference. Uh, Her idea at the TED conference is the idea of the monomyth. All right. Often stories and lit are told from one perspective, and often that perspective is white and male. If you have taken a class at Butte College, English 2, for example, you know that the English literary canon is replete with dead white dudes, right? Uh, to further exemplify this idea of the monomyth, it's not just in literature, but it's in movies too. There are very few brown Avengers. So this has subtle effects on the person. For her, when she discovered that she wanted to be a storyteller, she started writing, and what she found out was that she was writing about white characters and white situations in places that had nothing to do with her. Places where it snowed, and in Nigeria it doesn't snow, so she's writing about these stories that have nothing to do with her. Now this is pretty funny actually, a Nigerian writing about the snow and all these different things. But it's also kind of painful because she thought that storytelling had to be a place where only these kind of characters showed up and not herself, right? She denied herself a place in her early writings, and she did that intuitively, not, without having to think about it. So what that really boils down to is a lack of empowerment. Now, Clara E. Rodriguez, a writer in our textbook, talks about Latinos and the fluidity of the Latino identity, but I think it has something here that applies to all of us. So I have a quote for you. Even in the nuclear family, parents, children, and siblings often have a wide range of physical types. For many Latinos, race is primarily cultural. Multiple identities are a normal state of affairs, and racial mixture is subject to many different, sometimes fluctuating definitions. Now, this fluctuation is what's important, right? And I think we all can understand this to some degree. So, here at Butte College, you're a student with certain expectations of yourself and on yourself by other people. At home, you might go home and be a boyfriend or a girlfriend, be a daughter or a son, or a mother or a father. You're a different person in the home space. And then, even away from there, at work, you are yet again a different person. And this just goes to show that in different spaces, your identity changes. That's the fluidity we're talking about, right? So this coming year is an election year, and we are going to see ad campaigns that seek to reduce us from complex to simple to black and white to something more manageable that the power elite can then manipulate to garner votes and put funding in the projects they give a fuck about that maybe we wouldn't if we weren't produced, right? You're going to see attack ads like this. Do you identify as working class? Yes? Then vote against candidate X. Do you identify yourself as a business owner? Yes? Then vote against candidate Y. Do you remember when America was better? Yes? Things were simpler back then, right? They're going to reduce us to longing for a better past, and why can't it be like that now? They're going to reduce us to working class. They're going to reduce us to business owners and deny us our full spectrum of identity and human identity. And I know it's not going to happen, but hopefully we don't let them do that. We don't let them reduce us to blue and red, to conservative and liberal, because we are more. And if we could figure out a way to apply our whole spectrum of identity to problem solving and to decision making, perhaps this world would be a much different looking place. So yes, the idea that identity is complex is a message you have heard 1,000 times before. But with the elections coming, maybe we will remember this time around. Thank you for listening.